this video, I'm going to be showing you why women will be drawn to your masculine presence on semen retention. Bottom line is, when you go on semen retention, psychological breakdown as to why women will be drawn to your masculine presence is because you feel the urge in you. The number one reason is you feel the urge in you. And because you feel the urge in you, subconsciously, she may feel the urge in her as well too. This is the bottom line. This is why women will be drawn to your masculine presence. Because you have gone on semen retention, you've gone on nofap, and you have become quote unquote more manly, meaning, and when I mean manly, I just mean you become just a bit more, you might come a bit more aggressive, assertive, you might come a little more confident, you might tolerate a lot less, and some of these characteristics are what women are drawn to. These characteristics are what women are attracted to. Now, there's two types of game that you need to have to fully make sure that you get the utmost attraction. There's just your physical appearance and then how you act. If you combine these two together, you have the recipe for great relationships. First, let's talk about physical appearance. Physical appearance, in my experience, is super important. That's when you get the most choosing signals. When other people find you attractive, when you get double looks, when people are finding you attractive, when they're coming near you, they're making their way near you, they're looking to start conversations with you, things like that, you are getting attraction. And because you're getting attraction, other girls may subconsciously see this. Now, if you use this, if you have this already checked away, and then you are masculine when you're talking to her, meaning you're just a guy's guy. You're not swaying from the moment. If the moment comes, you're squared away and you're confident in the moment. You're confident with yourself. If you exude this confidence subconsciously, you're going to be attractive. Now you have to highlight these features. You have to highlight these features on social media, on dating apps. Very professional photos. Create very nice photos on your dating apps. Match with women, match with a multitude of women, and whoever seems to be more interested in you, put more attention on them. Because the thing is, when it comes to the dating game, for guys, it usually comes down to being, your best masculine, best looking, most groomed version of yourself. And then you're going to get attraction from somebody. It may not happen instantly, but eventually it's going to happen. A lot of the things that guys miss when it comes to semen retention, all these things, is if you don't have the physical attraction checked away, if you're not looking your best, then you can go on semen retention for however long, and it won't really matter because people like what they see. If they like what they see, they're going to be more drawn to you. But if you're not, if you're physically best, if you're not putting out your physical best, then more than likely or not, she's not going to be attracted to you as much. People skip steps. They think that, just because I'm on 300 days of semen retention, I'm going to get the most woman attraction. But they haven't checked off the other areas of their life. They haven't gotten the best shape. They're not doing the best way to maximize their looks. They're not highlighting themselves on social media the most to get the most attention and attraction. And because of this, they're lacking. They think that semen retention is just some sort of antidote that's going to take care of all the other problems, and that is just not the case. You can be on. There's guys who lack in physical appearance, who lack in social awareness, social intelligence, but they're talking about, they're talking about semen retention as that's just the cure for everything. And that is, anybody who's telling you that is telling you a bag of lies. They're just pushing it out there. The one thing about semen retention is that, you're going to feel good. That is one thing. You're going to feel probably a bit better than you were before, but that's just not the end all be all. That's not the end all be all. You might feel a little bit more, you feel that sensation you feel that sensation inside you, but what are you doing to transmute? You have to transmute the sexual energy. You have to transmute the energy. So they're going to be drawn to your masculine presence because you're more masculine, and women are attracted to masculine men. So become the most masculine version of yourself. Once you're able to do this, you're going to get woman attraction. If you physically look the part as well too, you're groomed, you're taking care of your skin, you're taking care of your hygiene, all these different things, and you have the abilities to speak to women in a way that intrigues them, you're going to get woman attraction. Notice how I talked about multiple things that you will need to do in order to get the woman attraction that you're desiring. A lot of creators, they're talking about semen retention is just that's all you need to have. And I would not be honest if that's what I told you, because semen retention, when you do go on it, like I said before, you internally you're probably gonna feel good, but that's not gonna negate the fact that you don't know how to have a conversation with someone. You're gonna have to practice having a conversation with someone. You're gonna have to practice looking your best. You're gonna have to practice highlighting yourself on social media the best, highlighting yourself on dating apps the best, taking keen photos to make yourself come across as attractive. And also, don't push for something that she's not reciprocating. If it seems that you're asking all the questions, you're doing all the work in this, you might just go ahead and tell her that it seems like I'm doing most of this, so I'm not going to entertain this anymore. You can either change or I can just leave. These are some of the things that you have to separate yourself in how you talk to some woman. You have to be able to differentiate yourself. You have to have this mentality of take it or leave it, all or nothing. Either you act right or this doesn't happen. This is what you have to be. At times you have to be stern. You have to be stern because there's too many guys who are not stern. They don't have any boundaries. They're not asserting themselves, allowing bad behavior, and this is why some women act out of line. This is why some women act out of line. There was this one woman on this podcast, and she started throwing water on the host. They invited her to their podcast, and she acted out of line and started throwing water on the people who invited her. Now, this is what I mean. There's no order. If there's no order, if there's no boundaries, if there's no standards, people are going to act exactly how they want, especially when it comes to women. Women, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. If you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. If you allow them to do small things, they're going to see how much they can get away with. And if you allow this, it's not going to happen. It's not looking so good for you. So the bottom line, just lay down the law. Be a man of boundaries. You have to be a man of boundaries. This is all a part of being high value. Other creators are going to tell you that just being on semen retention makes you high value, and that's just I can't understand that context, because that's not necessarily true. I don't believe that's necessarily true. Semen retention can be an addition to you being the best version of yourself, but just because you're on it doesn't necessarily mean you're better than the person who isn't on it. You gotta tell them the truth, because a lot of people are going to push this out as much as they can and do no other work, but somehow they feel that they're entitled to all the good things in life without putting any real work in. This is what you have to realize. You have to realize that NoFap, all these other things, are just an amplifier of who you already are. They're just an amplifier. It's like an icing on the cake. Icing on the cake. You're not going to make the cake with icing, but it's going to taste a lot sweeter and it's going to be even more presentable when you have some icing on it. This is what you have to realize. But you can still make the cake without icing, but more people just prefer it, and you yourself prefer it with toppings and icing. So what you have to realize, this is how it correlates to your life. When you fap recently and you're interacting with women, that's quote unquote sexual tension is not there anymore. There's this guy who was talking about it just matters how you dress, and actually no, it doesn't matter just how you dress. That may be a part of it. You can be the best dressed person on a date, but if there's no tension, there's no man-woman dynamic, you're not making her feel anything, this is how she's going to say that we didn't feel a spark. There's so many people on Reddit who are saying, oh, we just didn't feel it. They're posting anonymously about how the date that they wanted, they didn't feel a spark. The reason why they're saying that they didn't feel a spark is because you didn't do anything to create any tension. You didn't do anything to make it a man-woman dynamic. Because of this, you suffered. This is what you have to realize. You have to realize all of these things. Make yourself look the best as possible. Highlight yourself on different apps. And when you're hanging out with her, create masculine tension. Create masculine indifference. Look her in the eyes when you're talking to her. And you can be a laid back dude, but you can also be very stern if something's out of line. These are just things that you have to realize. You have to be called what we call it, an abrasive gentleman. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe to the channel below. We will see you in the next one. Share the video.